My cousin May and I had a close friendship as children. As we became teenagers and our lives got busier, we naturally did drift apart, but we still talked every 2 weeks or so during college. During May's third year of college, she suddenly stopped talking to everyone in the family. She dropped out of school without telling any of us. Her parents had to find out from a classmate. We reported her as missing because we were afraid something bad happened to her. May sent a message to the family, letting us know she was okay, but had never felt satisfied with her previous life and just needed to start over. May never let on that she felt this way during our conversations, and it obviously hurt that she hadn't tried talking to me about it before leaving. The only reason I maintained many of my social media profiles for a while after that was so May could find me if she ever changed her mind. I tried reaching out to her as well, but I admit that after about 2 years I gave up and accepted May as a lost cause. We had no contact with May for almost 7 years. May has 3 children, a kindergartner and toddler twins. She never told us about them. May never reached out during her pregnancies or after any of their births. May explained that her daughter's father had passed away and the twins' father had taken off. She was doing her best on her own, but after the boy twin was diagnosed with a disability, she realized that she couldn't do it on her own anymore. May's parents are willing to take her in and help with the grandchildren, but she said it would be hard for her because she knows they're disappointed in her and the life choices she's made, and seeing their faces and the way they look at her every day would pose even more of a strain on her mental health. May asked to move in with me, saying that she knows I understand what it's like to be a mother because of my own toddler son and brought up our childhood friendship with each other. I told May that I'd also been hurt and disappointed by her actions. She never tried to talk with me about her feelings of dissatisfaction or wanting to start over. Instead, she just took off and left us to worry about her. I can empathise with being a mother, but I must also put my child's well-being first. What if my son grows attached to her and her children just for her to run out of our lives again? My son has had enough loss in his life. How could I allow her to move in and trust her not to hurt us again? May is staying with her parents right now. May texted me saying she wished I'd allowed her to move in because, as she told me before, it's a huge mental strain on her to live with her parents and see the disappointment in their eyes every day. She also told me that she hoped our years of friendship would have meant more to me when facing such a low point in her life, both when she first left and now that she's returned. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. May abandoned you, and now that it's convenient for her, she wants to return. Let's be clear, not because she wanted to be with you, but because she wanted to be apart from her parents and she needs help with her kids. Please don't get emotionally sucked into this. You did nothing wrong, and you and your kid should not have to disadvantage yourself to have 4 more people moving in with you, especially if she has a home. OP, you're still hurt by May's behaviour. You tried to reach out for 2 years. What did your friendship mean to her then? Please continue to keep your distance. How will May financially support herself and the kids? You're still going to be used financially and feel that way. I think May isn't being completely honest with you. Is there any proof her baby daddy actually died? Given her history of running away and cutting people off, there's a chance she might be lying. It is a manipulation tactic. She appears more pitiful and helpless as a widow. If you and her family think that she's a widow, then no one will be bothering her to go to court and get some child support either. Ask her if she's getting the death benefits for her child if you're in the US. Ask her in front of her parents. I wouldn't be surprised if she bailed on both men and didn't want them to have any custody or say in raising her children. So many red flags and warning lights. Do not let this prodigal cousin move in and take over your life. When May has another opportunity, love her, she will probably disappear again and dump her kids on you. 100% this. I think it makes sense for the OP to be skeptical of May's story, given that cutting off family for 7 years without warning is something you'd expect from someone with an abusive spouse. Maybe May is running away from him, but she has her parents' support. My wife has been a bit weird around our dog lately. Our dog is a female 3-year-old cowboy corgi. We live on a farm and she's a good farmhand. Now, my wife wasn't supposed to be able to have kids due to cancer. We were told she would never have babies due to the damage. Despite this, God blessed us with a beautiful baby girl. My daughter is just learning to walk. She's taken a few steps here and there, but walks constantly with her push-along walker. Last night, our daughter stood up on her own and took about 4 steps, and I was sitting there recording it. Well, our dog, for whatever reason, will knock the baby over whenever she tries walking and bark at us, almost like she's telling us not to let the baby walk. I think it's funny and cute. My wife, on the other hand, is entirely fed up and doesn't want the dog around the baby at all anymore. She's told me a bunch of times that she's tired of the dog knocking the baby over on purpose and that the dog is going to make our daughter fearful of walking. I don't believe this under any circumstances, but my wife is very much down my throat about it. Well, this morning, before the dog and I went out to do our chores, Abigail was taking some big steps and walking around the kitchen with just her hand on the cupboards. She let go to clap, and when she did, my dog ran over and knocked her over again. My wife took off her flip-flops and waved them at the dog, causing the dog to run outdoors, and she told me, "That dog goes anywhere near our baby again, and I swear to God I'll leave." I told her she was being extreme, which set her off more because she was tired of explaining her case to me, and tired of me thinking it's damn cute that the dog is purposely knocking our kid over. I told her I'm not keeping the dog away from our kid because that would create a toxic behavior from the dog. She said she would leave then. Either the dog or her and the baby, basically. Am I the idiot? Not gonna lie, this cracked me up, especially a corgi. Come on, a corgi of all things. But seriously, train your dog, OP. A one-time thing is something to laugh at. Repeated behavior, not so much. Your wife has said it's her and the baby or the dog. OP, my guy, it really is time. Train your dog. Teach your dog some boundaries and please grow up. She's not asking you to get rid of the animal. She's asking you to not let the dog intentionally hinder your child's damn development. I would say just don't let the dog near the baby, but your marriage issues are way deeper than that. If you want this to last, you're going to have to do some deeper self-reflection and self-improvement, but maybe apologizing to your wife could be a start. My sister-in-law, her husband and their kid currently live with me, my husband and our 3 kids. Their house burnt down and it's in the process of being rebuilt. They've been here for 2 months. My sister-in-law works overnights 3 nights a week. Her husband doesn't work. I work from home and my husband installs docks 5 to 6 days a week. Now, even on the days that her sister-in-law doesn't work, she insists that my kids remain quiet and don't make noise at all because she will insist on sleeping until 4 or 5 p.m. after going to bed at 11 p.m. the night prior. She claims her body can't handle the sleeping schedule, but she refused to switch to day shifts. I'm honestly damn sick of trying to keep my kids quiet all day and most of the afternoon, literally so she can sleep while I'm trying to work on top of that. My son has ADHD and he's off the walls most of the time, so I constantly have to stop what I'm doing, work, to go and correct my kid for having fun in his own house. I told my husband this wasn't working and that we needed to sit down with sister-in-law, tell her this isn't working out, and come up with an alternative. So we sat her down yesterday and told her she had 3 options: buy noise-cancelling headphones, put a camper on our property and sleep out there, or change her work schedule because I will not be telling my kids to be quiet from the sun up till sundown anymore. She said she can't sleep with headphones, doesn't want to change her schedule due to the pay differential, and can't afford a camper. I basically told her those were her options. Take it or leave it. Today I didn't try to keep my kids quiet. I shouldn't have to in their home. Sister-in-law complained because she couldn't sleep, and I told her tough crap. I gave her options and she refused all of them. Am I the idiot? Edit, her husband hasn't worked as long as I've known him, 8 years. No reason behind it. She helps with around $200 worth of food a month because we all eat meals together. Other than that, nothing else. So if only $200 per month is supposed to feed her family, how much were they spending before the house burned down? I really want to know. Not the idiot, beggars can't be choosers. You've taken her in after the fire, which is the decent thing to do, but it is your children's house first, and she needs to remember that. Keeping your kids quiet 24/7 for the indefinite future is a non-starter. She insists on 11 p.m. to 4 p.m. sleep, so 17 hours. I read this wrong, didn't I? Tell me I did. She absolutely doesn't need that much sleep. I understand wanting to sleep in if you're up late, but if she's sleeping 16 hours a day, she needs to talk to a doctor to find out why. If nothing is medically wrong, then tough crap. I have an option. Sister-in-law's husband gets a job so they can rent a place and live how they choose. He needs to be contributing something to this arrangement. OP should not have the massive inconvenience of housing another family, working a full-time job, and being a caregiver to her children. At the same time, she does it when there's a freeloading adult in her house who needs to earn his keep. I love this option, but I don't understand why sister-in-law is living there in the first place. Most insurance policies provide money for alternate accommodations while the house is being repaired after a fire. Check the policy for loss of use. I was looking for this comment. Dollars to donut, she's pocketing the cash and mooching off OP. Her husband doesn't work. What does he do all day? These people sound like scammers taking advantage of OP. Free daycare for their kid, free rent, and the insurance gives them a nice monthly stipend. My nephew, toddler, just graduated from preschool and they had preschool graduation. After, all the children came to my sister's 37 house for a party since they might not see each other again and would attend different elementary schools. Our cousin, 35 male, came to the graduation and complained throughout the ceremony that it was stupid and that the kids shouldn't get to have a preschool graduation because he never got one. The kids also got recognized for learning to read, which upset him, and he said loudly, "I know how to read too, these kids are nothing special." The parents behind us became increasingly angry at him talking through the ceremony and confronted him, causing a scene. At the party, he ate several cupcakes meant for the kids, causing a shortage, so some kids couldn't get any. He sat down at the kids' table and started quizzing the kids on trivia, and when they didn't know what he was talking about, he said they were not so smart after all. He specifically picked a fight with one little girl, preschooler. She was talking about how she learned to read, and my cousin told her, "That's nothing special. 86.8% of the population can read. Do you think your kindergarten teacher will be impressed? They won't." This led to a screaming confrontation with the girl's parents, causing the children to cry. I had my cousin removed from the house. This caused a huge rift in our family, with his parents, my aunt and uncle, calling me to say, "How dare you choose the side of some random girl's parents over your own blood?" and chewing me out for my betrayal. Am I the idiot? Edit, he just hates all graduations and birthdays because he says, no one cares that you got a piece of paper or that you managed to not die. He believes no one enjoys graduation and that it's forced on people by society, and he's doing everyone some kind of service by livening it up with his commentary. He did graduate high school. I found this way funnier than I should have. He's like a scene from a crap Adam Sandler movie. Not the idiot, and it's not difficult to see why he behaves like this when his parents will not only sit back and do nothing while he's acting this way, but actually stand up for his crappy behavior when someone stops it. Your cousin, did you mean 5 instead of 35? If he needs to make kindergarten kids cry, I question his parents about their parenting. This guy is jealous of preschoolers. How insecure must someone be to be threatened by small children? Your aunt and uncle are also an embarrassment because they should have been the ones to drag him out. However, this won't be his first time being an idiot over stuff like this, and it won't be his last. So he probably shouldn't have been invited and definitely shouldn't be in the future. Attending an event celebrating children and spending it bullying said kids is a special kind of low. He needs therapy. Expressing "no one cares that you got a piece of paper" is really him saying "no one cares about or loves me." He sounds like a misanthrope, but instead of avoiding people, he just wants everyone else to be as miserable as him. So my dad has my sister, 23, my brother, 21, and me, 18 female, with our mom. They divorced when we were young because he wasn't very good to her. About 4 years ago, he got married again, and 2 years ago, he and his wife had a daughter together. It bothers my dad and his wife to an extent that we're not all about their daughter and that we act like she's different from us. She's so much younger, which is a part of everything, but the main thing is he wants us to be invested in her as much as we are with each other. He wants us to be those much older siblings who don't want to miss out on much, but none of us feel that way. She got a small surgery recently, and Dad was so upset that none of us insisted on being at the hospital with them. It wasn't a serious surgery at all, and she was home the same day, but it weighed on Dad that none of us were like, "Out of my way, we need to be there." So my siblings and I have this trip planned that coincides with celebrating my graduating high school. Dad heard about it and proposed to change of plans to us. He wanted to pay for all of us, the 3 of us, Dad, his wife and their daughter, to go to Disney or Universal for a week so that we could spend time with our half-sister as well and have sibling time with all actual siblings, not just us older 3. My siblings were all auto-no's, but I couldn't reply straight away, so Dad thought he had a chance when I said I couldn't reply. I mean, the app on my phone was being weird, and he was then messaging me alone and saying it would be a good thing and how we'd have those memories forever, and if we could make a tradition of it, and she, half-sister, would always know her big siblings enjoyed having her around. When I could reply, I did and turned down the offer as well. Dad is angry and says it's not every day kids our age get the offer for a vacation paid for by parents and even offered to spend money. He said it's like we're determined to make it clear our half-sister is not wanted and will be the reason we're not close as she gets older, not the age gap and not him or his wife. He told me I was acting like a kid and not like a new adult. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. My husband was born when his next older sister was 16. He was a menopausal baby. I'm the oldest of 4 bios, half and a step. Your reasons are valid. Dad cannot build a new fantasy family using money. Everyone will end up resenting all of it. He's doing no one any favors, and you're better off just saying so. Dad needs to grow up. You are the idiot. You don't get to pick and choose siblings. Your biological half-sister is painfully aware not all relationships are the same, though. Her sin? Having a dad like yours. That's it. That fact should unite you two, but you need your anger more. Blood isn't anything. The way we treat our family resonates with the infinite. Write this young child a card and explain why you treat her less kindly than a total stranger. Justify yourself to her. Her parents protect her from this baseless, vile anger. I think your bio-dad might be the good guy here. I understand that he's desperate to bring all his kids together, but with the huge difference in ages, I don't think he's being realistic. And not realistic about what place this very tiny child holds in OP's and siblings' lives and priorities either. OP, I don't think any of you are being unreasonable to say no thanks to his offer. He's trying to force bonds that simply can't be forced that way.